Now, one of the things we would remember COVID-19 for is remote working. It seems to be gaining grounds, even here in Nigeria, even though it looks like there are some professions that would not allow that. But let's talk about cloud-based solutions. Perhaps this will help elaborate the adoption of remote work and the advantages of it. And to discuss this, we have Chimezirim Bassi joining us from the UK. He's a cloud-based solutions specialist. Chimezirim, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Yeah, so do tell us, we have been talking about remote work, remote work. Is it possible in all fields when you talk about remote work?
Yeah, I believe it is, actually. I believe it's possible from every angle, right? Business, almost all companies can adopt remote work now. You have a lot of tools. We have almost every tool that makes it possible for you to do everything from the comfort of your home, right? So you don't necessarily need to go to the office or meet someone in person to be able to get things done, unlike before. So almost there are tools like Google Meet, there are Teams, there is Zoom, right? And other tools that facilitates the possibility of you being able to do everything remotely without having to go to the office.
And I guess
yeah.
cloud computing has a role to play in that.
Yeah, it does. So I think cloud computing has ensured remote work isn't just a temporary fix, but a lasting operational model. Right? The fundamental objective of cloud platforms is to allow employees to securely access computer data, company data, apps and tools from anywhere, right, on any device. And this alone eliminates the dependency on physical offices. Right, it ensures teams stay productive, whether they're at home, in a cafe, or halfway across the globe. So tools like Teams, Google Workspace, all cloud-based, enable real-time collaboration, document sharing, all forms of communication. So this replicates or even improves in-office workflow, making remote teamwork frictionless and scalable. So by enabling remote work, the cloud lets companies, hire and retain top talent. So this alone creates a sustainable talent model that isn't bound by geography. So in short, cloud computing isn't just about enabling remote work. It's about providing the reliability, security, and adaptability needed to make it a permanent, scalable strategy.
Yeah, but what about the infrastructure? When you look at a country like Nigeria, doesn't it look like the lack of cloud infrastructure, for instance, deters the adoption of this remote work?
So, well, I wouldn't believe so, right? I think one thing the pandemic did for us was it didn't just temporarily disrupt work. I think it reshaped expectations, right? It proved that remote and hybrid models aren't just possible, but advantageous no matter wherever it is, Nigeria or outside Nigeria, right? So businesses now can scale resources instantly. You can scale resources instantly without it adding server capacity during whether it's adding server capacity during downtime, whether it's downsizing during quiet period. The cloud handles that for them. So you don't really necessarily need to do any special thing, right? So there is no, I don't believe there is any limitations based on location or infrastructure of Nigeria. So in essence, even beyond tools, I think the cloud supports the change in workflow dynamics, right, by fostering a culture of autonomy and accountability across geographic regions.
Yeah, but more adoption also means more exposure, to cloud and cyber security or insecurity in this case.
Well, yes, true. But I think the cloud handles things like this, right? there are security tools that help and make sure that productivity is not affected by trying to ensure security. There are tools like there are infrastructures like zero trust architecture, which is a security framework that assumes no user or device, whether it's inside or outside the network, is trusted by default. So it means that it requires continuous verification and authorization for every access request by any user. So I think companies like or tools like Okta or Microsoft Entra ID, right? They use tools like this, and they ensure that only authorized users are given access to these tools. So I don't think there is any compromise to security when it comes to using cloud infrastructure, right? So I think actually that secure collaboration is baked into tools like Microsoft Teams, like I said, Google Workspace, right, with encrypted chats, expiring file links, auto compliances to protect your data from outsiders, right? So generally, I believe that cloud security isn't a barrier; is the invincible shield that lets remote teams operate safely and seamlessly.
All right, Chimeze, I mean, we see what President Trump is doing, you know, with Doge and discouraging remote work and all of that. And even here in Nigeria, one of the conversations around this is how can the employer be sure that the employee would not cheat on the time of the company when you're doing this remote work? Does cloud computing also help in this?
Yeah, it does. It does. So again, I'll be specific to Microsoft Teams, which is something I use, right? You can monitor basically when someone is at work and when the person is not at work, right? If I leave my system for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, the management would know that I am not there, right? But I think it's not even about monitoring. I think it gives you the capacity. It gives us the capacity to not just focus on logging how many hours someone worked, but focus on how productive the person is. Because it's not about where the person is, it's about what the person was able to produce, how productive the person was in the period that was given to the person. Yeah, so I don't think in any way that it gives people the ability to cheat. Actually, it gives them the ability to be flexible with work and be very productive and get things done, irrespective of wherever they are doing it from or how comfortable they are where they are doing it from. So I don't agree with him on saying that people will cheat on that. No, I actually think it's the opposite. People get more productive when they are more comfortable.
All right, thank you so much, Chimezire Mbasi, cloud-based solution specialist, for those insights into the cloud-based infrastructure.
Thank you.